Hello and welcome to Past Matters, where we explore the fascinating stories of the past. Today we are going to talk about the Roman Empire and how it rose to power, from a small city-state in Italy to a world-dominating superpower. The Roman Empire was founded in 27 BCE, when Octavian defeated his rivals Mark Antony and Cleopatra in the Battle of Actium. He was the grandnephew and adopted son of Julius Caesar, who had been assassinated by his enemies in the Senate in 44 BCE. Octavian became the sole ruler of Rome and its vast territories, which had been conquered over centuries of expansion. But how did Rome become so powerful in the first place? To answer that question, we have to go back to the origins of Rome, which according to legend, was founded in 753 BC by Romulus and Remus, twin sons of Mars, the god of war. They were raised by a she-wolf and later killed their uncle, who had usurped their grandfather's throne. They then built a city on the banks of the Tiber River, which they named after Romulus. Rome was ruled by 7 kings, who were elected by the people. The last king, Tarquin the Proud, was overthrown in 509 BC by a revolt led by Lucius Junius Brutus, who established the Roman Republic. The Republic was a form of government where the power was shared by 2 consuls, who were elected annually by the people, and a Senate, which was composed of the aristocrats. The Republic also had various assemblies and magistrates, who dealt with different aspects of administration and justice. The Roman Republic expanded its territory through a series of wars against its neighbors, such as the Etruscans, the Samnites, the Gauls, and the Carthaginians. Rome was able to gain its empire in large part by extending some form of citizenship to many of the people it conquered. This created a sense of loyalty and unity among the diverse peoples of the empire. Rome also benefited from its strong military, its efficient administration, and its cultural diversity. However, the Republic also faced many problems and challenges that threatened its stability and survival. There were social conflicts between the rich and the poor, political rivalries between different factions and leaders, and military crises caused by external enemies or internal rebellions. The Republic also suffered from corruption, violence, and civil wars, which weakened its institutions and undermined its values. The most famous civil war was between Julius Caesar and Pompey, 2 generals who competed for power and popularity. Caesar crossed the Rubicon River in 49 BC with his army, which was an act of treason against the Republic. He then defeated Pompey and his allies in a series of battles across Europe, Africa, and Asia. He became the dictator of Rome and initiated a series of reforms to restore order and prosperity. He also planned to conquer Parthia, Rome's archenemy in the east. However, Caesar's ambition and popularity aroused fear and jealousy among some senators, who conspired to assassinate him on March 15, 44 BCE. This sparked another civil war between Caesar's supporters, led by Mark Antony and Octavian, and his assassins, led by Brutus and Cassius. After several battles, Antony and Octavian emerged victorious at Philippi in 42 BCE. They then divided the empire between them. Antony took charge of the east and Octavian took charge of the west. But their alliance did not last long. Antony fell in love with Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt, who had been Caesar's lover before him. He also claimed to be the son of Jupiter and started to adopt Egyptian customs. This offended Octavian and many Romans, who saw Antony as a traitor to Rome's interests and traditions. Octavian declared war on Antony and Cleopatra in 31 BCE. He defeated them at Actium with his superior navy. Antony and Cleopatra committed suicide in Alexandria in 30 BCE. Octavian became the sole ruler of Rome and its empire. He changed his name to Augustus, meaning the revered one. and established a new system of government known as the Principate. He claimed to restore the Roman Republic, but in reality, he held absolute power over the empire. He was the first citizen, or princeps, of Rome, and he controlled the army, the treasury, the provinces, and the religious affairs. He also reformed the laws, the administration, the taxation, and the military. Augustus inaugurated a period of peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. He expanded the empire to its greatest extent by conquering new lands or securing existing borders. He also built far more monumental structures than his predecessors, such as temples, aqueducts, roads, bridges, and amphitheaters. He transformed the city of Rome into a magnificent capital that reflected his glory and power. The Roman Empire reached its peak under Augustus and his successors, but it also faced many challenges and crises that threatened its stability and survival. There were rebellions and invasions from the enemies on the borders, such as the Germans, the Parthians, and the Persians. There were also corruption and violence within the empire, especially among the emperors themselves. Some of them were cruel, insane, or incompetent, such as Caligula, Nero, and Commodus. They abused their power and oppressed their subjects, causing resentment and revolt. The Roman Empire survived these troubles thanks to its strong military, its efficient administration, and its cultural diversity. It also adapted to changing circumstances by introducing reforms and innovations. For example, Diocletian divided the empire into two halves in 284 CE to make it easier to govern. He also increased the size of the army, reorganized the provinces, and introduced a new system of succession known as tetrarchy. Constantine reunited the empire in 324 CE and moved the capital to Constantinople in 330 CE to be closer to the eastern provinces. He also legalized Christianity in 313 CE with the Edict of Milan, which ended the persecution of Christians in the empire. He also convened the First Council of Nicaea in 325 CE to settle some doctrinal disputes among Christians. Christianity eventually became the official religion of the empire under Theodosius I in 380 CE. The Roman Empire lasted for almost 1,500 years, until it finally collapsed in 476 CE in the west and 1453 CE in the east. It left behind a rich legacy that influenced many aspects of our modern world, such as our languages, laws, arts, and sciences. It also inspired many generations of historians, writers, and artists who admired its achievements and learned from its mistakes. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more history content. See you next time on Past Matters.